Welcome back to Afternoon Live. It's estimated that up to 40% of fine art pieces hanging in museums and private collections could be forgeries, which help to inspire our next guest's new crime novel, Artist, Lover, Forger, Thief. We welcome back psychologist and author Sheila Sharp. It is so nice to see you, Sheila.
Good seeing you too.
So remind us a bit of your background that led you to write this book, because you yourself are an artist but also a psychologist.
Well, I think it's probably the combination of the two that actually did it. Starting out as an artist and not making it as in the art world, it was, acquainted me with what happens to artists that fail, which many of them become forgers. And so I became sympathetic with that group, in part because of my own experience. And also I had to change fields in order to make a living. And psychology was another big interest of mine. So I became a psychologist who basically specializes in treating creative people. And so I have come across a lot of people in the art world, dealers and collectors, even a couple of con artists, which has also sort of acquainted me with the art underworld in a way that you wouldn't expect, because people like that don't typically come to psychotherapy. But
sure,
I was lucky. I got lucky.
It seems like you almost had no choice but to write this book. So tell me a little bit about the plot, because it sounds so fascinating.
Well, I'm glad you think so. Yes, it's it features an art forger, Nick McCoy, and he is longing to actually be a real artist. So you can kind of see my history coming through in some of this. But he can't quit until he exacts revenge on the collector, the big-time collector who murdered his family when he was a boy. And so he conspires to become the advisor of that person, and he's also on his day job as being a conservator at the local museum. We're in San Diego now in the setting. And so he launches then a very diabolical scheme to punish this person. In the meantime, he connects with a psychologist that he had seen in the past for panic attacks. And they become involved, and she starts to help him with his project, and is sucked herself into the art world in her effort to help him. But so the story then results in a murder and various other evil happenings.
Quite a tangled web. It must be so fun to put all those puzzle pieces together. But tell me more things that I think most of us don't understand about the world of forgery, because there's a lot of money changing hands. This is a really high stakes game.
Well, it's a $4 to $6 billion corrupt deal a year is spent on art, on those things that art forgery and theft support, which are drug running, trafficking in humans, terrorism, well, pretty much the big three.
Sure. Well, there could be some tax implications too, right? If people are sort of purposely overvaluing things that they might know aren't real.
Well, I think the opposite tends to be more true. That is, people want to believe what they purchase is real.
Sure.
And even collectors and curators, people in the art world, do not want to see forgeries, because it ruins their business. And whether you're in a museum or a dealer, it isn't helpful to business to have forgeries exposed. So there's really kind of a secret society going on amongst everybody in the art world to keep these things out of sight as much as possible. So I'm not sure that is answering your question, though.
No, that makes sense. Well, and that always, kind of begs the question of, Well, who cares if it's fake or if it's not? If I like it in my house and it makes me happy, then that seems to be okay for some people.
Oh, yes, it is, absolutely. I don't know about the majority. I have certainly seen it's mostly actually what I've seen is furious billionaires who get taken.
Sure.
People who seem to be just happy with their one wonderful painting in their house, if they find out it's not real, often it's okay with them because they love it anyway.
Well, and it kind of, leads to those implications as we see these prices going higher and higher at these big fancy auctions that, gosh, I hope that's the real thing, and I hope that they've got the provenance for that, because could you imagine finding out that something that you had, that you paid a lot of money for, didn't turn out to be the real thing?
Well, I think it is disappointing to most, yes, especially if you've put out a great deal.
And Sheila, I understand, do you already have the prequel cooked up for this book?
Yes, actually, yes. The prequel was written first, and it is done, and it is. We're hoping to have it come out in October, I believe.
How exciting! Well, thank you so much for coming back and visiting with us. It was so lovely chatting with you.
Oh, very good seeing you again. Thank you.
Sheila's book again is Artist, Lover, Forger, Thief, and we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.